Hello and welcome to all of you. So if you are watching this video, that means you are thinking of opting for CS career, or maybe you have already chosen this career path and wanted to know everything about this great profession. Then friends, you are at the right place. Let me tell you, with my honest opinion and experience, Company Secretary is one of the most recognized and rewarding career opportunity, open for students of all streams, be it art, science or commerce. Let me also break the myth that this career is meant only for commerce students. And you know what's the best thing? CS can be started immediately after class 12. Well, don't worry. If you did your class 12 few years back and you can still do CS, as I believe it's better to be late than never. It is an ideal choice for individuals interested in pursuing a career in the corporate sector or working in legal and compliance related role. If this is fascinating you, stay connected with me till the end. And if not, this video is not meant for you.
Maybe you should leave.
So let's get started. Hello friends, I'm CA Rajki Agrawal, having qualified CA with All India rank. And in this video, I will answer all your doubts that you have and also those which has yet not come to your mind regarding the CS course. From eligibility criteria to the prospects of becoming a CS, I've covered everything in this video. But before I start, I want all of you to watch this small video clip of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and listen what he has to say to all of you.
आज मुझे खुशी है कि मैं एक विशिष्ट प्रकार के विद्वानों के बीच में आया हूं। आप अपनी जिम्मेवारी जिस तरह से निभाते हैं, उसी से देश का कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर कैसा होगा, ये तय होता है। आपकी संस्था का मोटो है सत्यम वद धर्मम चर, यानी सत्य बोलो और नियम कानून का पालन करो। आपकी दी हुई सही या गलत सलाह देश के कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस को प्रभावित करके ही रहती है। ऐसे ही लोगों को आपकी संस्था का सत्यम वद धर्मम चरम का पाठ सही रास्ते पर जाने की दिशा देता है, इसे याद दिलाता है। देश में ईमानदारी को, पारदर्शिता को इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज करने में आपके संस्थान की बहुत बड़ी भूमिका है।
I hope this video was powerful enough to influence you in the right direction. With this, I expect that you may now understand the responsibilities of a CS and how important they are to our country. Right? Who are company secretaries? What is their value in a company? Company secretary is the only profession which can make you sit on a chair placed adjacent to the chair of Ambanis and Adanis in the boardroom. CS are recognized as the key managerial personnel. Now there is very important question that comes to everyone's mind. How relevant is CS compared to CA? And I know you also have the same question in your mind. But wait, I'm not going to address this question right now. You yourself will get the answer to this before the end of the video. And with this wonderful beginning, let's move ahead. First thing first, ICSI, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, is a professional body that governs and conducts the exams for company secretary in India. This body, ICSI, comes under the ownership of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the Government of India. Let's not talk about the eligibility. Who can do CS? As I've already told you, if you have passed your class 12th, either in the stream of arts, science or commerce, you are eligible for appearing CS course. And not 12th basically. If you are someone who is really willing to go for CS, you can start preparing for it for the first stage, which is called CSET, immediately after your class 10th. You just have to prepare for CSET with your class 11th and 12th, and the moment you pass your class 12th, you can immediately appear for CSET exam, and that will be really quick. You must have heard of people becoming a CS or CA at an early age of 21. It's because they have not wasted their years or months after 12th, and they have jumped early into the course. For this, you have to ensure one thing. You must be at least 17 years of age at the time of registration for CS, and that's all. You can start. So what you have understood up till now is that after class 12th, you can appear and register for CS. CS is divided into 3 stages. That is CSET, the stage 1, CS Executive, stage 2, and CS Professional, stage 3, which I will explain to you in brief later in the video. Listen carefully. If you are someone who has completed his graduation, you can take entry in this course starting with stage 2 directly. I believe you remember stage 2, CS Executive. That means if you are a graduate or a postgraduate, you don't have to appear for the first stage, CSET. You can start your CS journey with direct entry route coming to the second stage directly, that is CS Executive. If you are a class 12th pass out, you have to start with stage 1 CSET, and in this phase, you will almost require 3 years to become CS. It may also happen that you are in your last semester or last year of graduation. Then according to me, don't go for CSET route. Instead, you can start preparing for the executive level, and the moment you get your graduation final year result, you are eligible to sit for CS Executive examination. And in this route, you will almost require 2 years to become a CS. This is all in the eligibility criteria. Now let's come to the most important part, course structure. CS comprises 3 stages: CSET, CS Executive and CS Professional. We will understand them one by one. Let's start with CSET. CSET is the first and foremost stage, which was previously called as CS Foundation. The name is now changed, or you can say renamed as CSET. That is Company Secretary Executive Entrance Test. So you first register yourself for CS course with CSET on the ICSI website, which is icsi.edu. The institute provides you with the study material which gets delivered to your doorstep. The syllabus of CSET comprises the following 4 parts. Part 1, Business Communication, which is for 50 marks. Part 2, Legal Aptitude, Logical Reasoning and Quantitative Aptitude for 70 marks. Part 3, Economic and Business Environment for 50 marks. And Part 4 is Current Affairs for 30 marks. This makes the entire CSET of 200 marks, and the total duration for the exam is 2 hours. The paper is entirely MCQ based, and remember, it's just one examination of 4 parts consisting of all 4 papers. And the best thing, the mode of this examination is online, which you can appear from the selected exam center. The passing criteria, a student have to score 40% in each part of the paper. I hope you remember 4 parts of the paper. So 40% in each part and 50% aggregate marks in total in order to clear the CSET level. Remember, the most important thing which I guess not everyone knows, and thus students do this mistake. The result of CSET is valid only for 1 year. So if you have to get yourself registered for the next level, that is CS executive level, within 1 year you will have to do so. And in case you have forgot to do so, you will have to take the CSET exam again. Next stage is level 2 CS executive. To appear for CS executive, candidates either have to pass CSET or have to be a graduate or postgraduate in any stream, arts, science or commerce. There is one more criteria: if you have passed CA foundation or CMA foundation, then also you can directly appear for CS executive. That means a student can parallelly go for all these 3 courses even. Now important again, there's some mandatory training for every CS executive candidate which they have to undergo. And the first one is computer training, and the second is 7 days SIP, not systematic investment plan, SIP, that is student induction program. And that too, candidates have to undergo both trainings within 6 months of CS executive registration. Don't forget this. And all that are required before you are appearing for CS executive exams, which means these trainings are sort of mandatory prerequisite that you cannot avoid. Let's get into the course curriculum of CS executive. As per the new syllabus 2022, CS executive consists of 2 modules. The first module has 4 papers and the second module has 3 papers, each of 100 marks, which makes the entire CS executive stage of 700 marks. The duration of each paper will be 3 hours. Module 1 has first paper GIGL, Jurisprudence, Interpretation and General Laws. Second paper, Company Law and Practice. Third paper, Setting up of Business, Industrial and Labor Laws. Fourth paper is Corporate Accounting and Financial Management. Now module 2 has 3 papers. First paper is Capital Market and Securities Law. Second paper, Economic, Commercial and Intellectual Property Laws. And last but not the least, the third paper of module 2, Tax Laws and Practice, my favorite one. Now, though Institute has divided the executive stage in 2 modules to lower the burden and pressure on students, it now depends on candidate. If they wish, they can give exam of only 1 module at a time, or they may even give exam of both the modules together depending on their preparation. Talking about the pattern of paper, then they are a combination of both case-based objective type question and descriptive question in all the papers, except one paper named Corporate Accounting and Financial Management, which is in fact 100% descriptive. Student, I hope this is clear to you. Moving forward, we are going to talk about the passing criteria for CS executive level. So there's basically 2 things. One is passing criteria to pass the exam, and another is exemption criteria to pass a particular subject or subjects. Let's start with the passing criteria, and once I have done with this, I'll move to exemption criteria. The student must get a minimum of 40% marks in each paper, and the overall module aggregate should be 50% to pass CS executive level. Understand one thing, if you are giving both the modules together, then the aggregate of both the modules will be considered. For example, if you have scored 190 in module 1, which comprises of 4 papers, and 160 in module 2, which comprises of 3 papers. In this case, you will be declared pass in both the modules, as the aggregate becomes 350 of all the 7 papers, which is 50% of the total marks. But if you would have given the exam of only module 1, scoring 40% marks in each subject, and the aggregate was same, which I stated earlier, 190 marks, you will be declared fail in that case, because you were supposed to get a minimum of 200 marks in aggregate, and that becomes 50%. I hope this stands clear for all of you. Now let's move ahead and understand the exemption criteria for CS Executive. Exemption in a paper means you are declared pass in that subject even if you fail in a module. To get an exemption in a subject, a student need to score a minimum of 60% marks in that paper and a minimum of 25% marks on the remaining paper of that module. Exemption means you will be assumed pass for that particular subject, which means you are giving your next exam, you don't have to appear in the exempted paper of last attempt. Now there's one more way a student can get exemption, and this criteria is least known or least discussed by people. But I'll tell you, in this criteria for exemption, out of 4 papers of a module, if you failed in a subject with a minimum of 25 marks in that failed subject, and you have scored an average of over 60%, combining the other 3 papers, then those 3 papers are exempted. Remember, this case is only applicable when you are failed in only one subject. If this was known to you, let me know in the comment box. Last but not the least, let's understand everything about the last stage CS Professional. Eligibility. You yourself can understand that you have to clear CS Executive in order to appear for CS Professional exams. Talking about course structure, as per the new syllabus 2022, there are 2 modules, Group 1 and Group 2. In Group 1, there are 3 mandatory papers and 1 elective paper that you have to choose from 4 subject options. And in Group 2, there are 2 mandatory papers and 1 elective paper, and that elective paper has to be chosen from 5 options. So in total, there are 7 papers in CS Professional. You will get the complete information for all the subjects in detail. I have put the link to a web page in the video wherein you will find all the description, detailed information. The paper pattern is descriptive, and for elective paper, it's an open book examination, which means you can take your books to examination hall for all your elective papers, and that too as many as you wish. The duration of each paper is 3 hours and with maximum marks of 100. Moving forward, the passing criteria. So the passing criteria in CS Professional is same as CS Executive. That is, you have to score a minimum of 40% in each paper and an aggregate of 50% in all the papers of the group to pass the exam. Similarly, you can choose to give exam of 1 module or both the modules at a time, depending on your preparation. Talking about exemptions, it's again the same here. You have to score 60% or more in a subject and a minimum of 25% in rest of the subjects in order to get an exemption in that particular subject where you have scored 60% and above. Wow! We are finally heading towards the end of this video. Let's address the most important topic, which is every aspirant's main concern. So let me tell you clearly, this course is very cheap for an average Indian. The first stage is CSET, which requires you to pay approx 1,000 for registration. After that, you go for CS Executive. You have to pay approximately 10,100 as registration. And finally, for CS Professional, you must have to pay 13,000 as the registration. Other than these mentioned registration fee, you need to separately pay the examination fee. And every time you give an examination, you will have to pay this fees, and this is 1,200 per module. So overall, the amount becomes somewhere around 30,000 rupees, which you need to spend. Some other expenses if you are obviously joining some coaching classes. The best way to prepare is to opt for video classes from Study at Home Learning app, which is available on Google Play Store as well as iOS App Store. Video classes here are from top-notch educators, and that too at a very reasonable fee. Your success is in fact guaranteed, as their past result and student satisfaction level is very high. Now let's talk about how many times this CS exam is conducted in a year. So CS ET exam is conducted 4 times a year: January, May, July, November. CS Executive and CS Professional is held only twice a year: June, December. Now moving on to the most awaited topic. What is the salary of a CS in India? So when you see different YouTube videos, different people speak different things, which can be confusing and demotivating at times. Now let me get into this straight away. When it comes to pay, you must always keep in mind that a person's skill and years of experience are always taken into consideration while determining the salary and how much is to be paid. Also, different metro cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Gurgaon offer different salary packages. Different companies will obviously offer different packages for different positions. Years of experience in this field will yield you higher salary. But to give you a rough figure, in India, the average salary of a fresher company secretary is approximately 8 lakh per annum. But now again, it depends on years of experience. It would increase from 8 lakh per annum and may go even in crores. There are many company secretaries who earn in millions, like HUL's Executive Director Dev Bajpayee, who is company secretary, and there was a report by Mint that he earns 4.69 crores in a year. And this news is even a very old news, let me tell you. Talking about the top recruiters for CS graduates, they are Infosys Technologies, HCL, Cisco, Dell, Tata Infotech Limited, Apple, and obviously the Big Fours. Let's end today's career counseling session by understanding the scope of a company secretary and the prospects after becoming a CS. There are numerous job opportunities like the public and commercial sectors, financial organizations, and banks. All sectors are open for skilled company secretaries. And obviously all the company secretaries are skilled. And then again we heard from our PM about the demand for a company secretary after the pandemic in the corporate market. Like chartered accountants, company secretaries are also necessary for all business enterprises. Whether big or small, government or private, every business requires a company secretary to take care of tax, legal and investment aspects on a regular basis. Many companies hire independent company secretaries while others opt for services offered by CS firm. So obviously you have two ways to work as a company secretary. One by joining a company, another by owning your own firm of consultancy. Some of the common prospects are principal secretary, corporation registrar, legal advisor, chief administrative officer, corporate planner, corporate policy makers, and members of the board of directors. So there are numerous opportunities in front of you. If you want to succeed in life, and I always say, don't wait for the opportunities, create them. At last, I hope I have provided you with the maximum information required to pursue CS as your career. This is CA Rajki Agrawal signing off with my best wishes for all your future plans and to achieve the highest success in life. Grow big.